Hi, Chris here. In this video I want to talk about vibration in regards to love versus fear. Everyone's heard about love versus hate, and I guess hate comes alongside when you have fear, anxiety and panic and all these sorts of things. Then hate is a very easy thing to go to. So it's essentially the same as light versus dark, and how different those vibrations are. Love, laughter, embracing joy and all those sorts of things are a high vibration of energy. And what we're talking about vibrations, we're talking energy. And then when we're going towards fear, anxiety, panic, anger, all these things, so hate comes from anger, of course, are all low vibration energy. So therefore it puts your body in a low energy state. So every day in our life we're always choosing between love and fear. And currently, the world as it is, mainstream everything. Whether that's the mainstream media, the news that we watch, a majority of the systems, and I've done a video on the systems that we need to let go of, that we have in modern civilization, is based on fear. It's not based on love. And a lot of it's all business, and business is created through greed, and greed is a low vibration as well with fear, and it puts a lot of people in fear because we don't know what's going to happen around the corner, essentially. So we're sometimes looking too far ahead of ourselves, and we're also looking too back all the time. And in our past, if we go by this current imprisoned type of situation we have here in regards to time, and about being this love vibration and being a high vibration is about living every moment in the present, and we don't want to be looking too far ahead of ourselves, and we don't want to be looking back all the time. There was a quote that I saw was an excellent quote, and it was talking about we end up in depression if we look back all the time, and if we look too far ahead, then all of a sudden anxiety is a dominating type of illness people get, because we're looking too far ahead and they're not being present at the moment. So we just have to enjoy every moment that we have now, and that's the most important thing we can actually think of and be conscious of, is where we are at the time, and enjoy that moment the best we can. Obviously, every moment's not going to be a great moment, it's not going to be a good moment, we're going to have our bad times, but it's about getting the best out of that situation and learning from it, because whether it's good or bad, it's an experience, and that's how we need to look at it. We don't need to dwell on things, and if we dwell on things, then all of a sudden that does not allow us to be in the present, and therefore be conscious. So there's an agenda in regards to mainstream everything, and why the world is in a fear-based type of vibration. And is because they want you to be in a lower vibration. They don't want you to be conscious, because if you're unaware, so therefore unconscious of what's happening around you, then they can make decisions without you knowing. And there's this whole thing that if we all came together, then they couldn't control us, they couldn't govern us. And that is true, but initially we need to go deep within ourselves, and we need to love ourselves first before we can ever love anybody else, and embrace everybody as a whole, and knowing that we're all one. So we need to love ourselves. So when I'm talking about vibration of love, it's not essentially looking, I see a lot of people out there that spend so much time looking for the perfect person for them, a loving relationship, to get married and all those sorts of things. And it's we sometimes we need to invest that time into ourselves, and we need to go in instead of looking out, because the universe is always talking to you, and a lot of the times if we can't find that right person, we keep finding the wrong person for ourselves. It's usually a reflection of where we are at with the love we have for ourselves. So you need to really work on yourself and go inner instead of looking out. Before you need to love yourself before you can ever love anyone else. And another thing with vibration is that emotions and thoughts are energy. Thinking negatively about someone, you could actually impart negative energy to that person and create a health problem with them. and there's a lot of people that do that, and that's called voodoo, or do that for a profession. For example, with me here at True Holistic, I'm using quantum energy tools and pyramid tools, and using vibration to help people heal their illnesses, and which is what they call a light worker. But there are also dark workers out there, people that use that same energy and that same skill set, let's say, and intuition to actually impart pain and actually cause a health problem for people. So we need to be aware of our thoughts at the time, because our emotional thoughts at the time can definitely dictate what vibration level our body or a current part of our body is currently in, and therefore a lot of the times we are manifesting that ourselves, our own health problems, because of our emotional state and our thought patterns at the time. And as I say, especially if we're looking too far ahead, and then if we're looking too far back, it's all about being in the present moment and enjoying moment by moment what you're doing at the time, because we can only do that. We can't dictate what happened in the past. We can dictate what happens in the future, but it all happens from where we are at the moment. So we need to get back into the moment. Intention with our emotions and our thoughts, is about having a positive intention, because if you have a positive intention, then the universe will give you that, because we're always communicating with the universe, and the universe is communicating back with us. And that's all about goal setting and intention. If we put a positive intention out there, or we're putting our goals down, the universe is listening, and it's only you only need to be in a conscious state to be aware of that, all the subtleties of the way the universe is speaking to you. And if we're not in a conscious state, then we miss the boat, essentially. So where this connects in with food and nutrition and diet is that if we're feeding ourselves up with a lot of junk, food that is low vibration, it doesn't have a lot of minerals in it, has a lot of this toxic materials within it, such as sugar, then we're obviously breeding an environment within ourselves and our gut to create low vibrational thoughts and emotions in our mind. So if we're feeding ourselves up high vibrational food and spring water and highly mineralized water and food, then all of a sudden we're bringing that vibration up, and then all of a sudden that's going to come out in the way that we think about the world as well, and our emotions and our thoughts about ourselves as well as others. There's a lot of people out there that don't love themselves enough because of solely what they eat, and it's a bit of a vicious cycle, because they don't love themselves, so they emotionally eat, and they eat a lot of the junk foods to kind of get a quick high. The blood sugar levels bring the blood sugars levels up because they've been so low, and that's essentially what hyperglycemia is. And it's such an epidemic with blood sugar regulation and blood sugar difficulties such as diabetes. And it's all about trying to enjoy the moment at the time and love yourself. And when you love yourself, then it's easy to make better dietary choices and nutritional choices as well, because we're not emotionally eating. I think, myself included, I don't think we're 100% bulletproof in regards to emotional eating. I do it like a majority of other people do, but it's also being aware of that time when we're doing it, because then we can ask ourselves, well, what's happening here? I'm eating this food for a particular reason. I'm eating a lot of sugar. Why am I doing that? And reassess what you currently like at that present time, and you can change it. With your intention. At the time you might be just thinking negatively about something. It's about just switching it over, maybe watching a comedy or watching a movie that makes you laugh and that you enjoy, getting amongst people that bring your vibration levels up, these sorts of things, and also being aware of the people that bring your energy levels down as well. There's many things that contribute, because we're always sharing energy with each other, with people and so on. So you have to be aware of the people that you spend time with as well. Are they bringing your levels down, or are they bringing it up? And ideally you want to be with high vibrational people, people that have similar interests with you, but also are working on personal development, because it's all about going in and making yourself a better person. Because if you only make yourself a better person and love yourself, then you can help do the same to others. and then you produce a community that is all about high consciousness, and that's where we want to be in. So anyway, I thought I'd do this video regarding onto vibration and the number of factors in regards to how we bring our vibration levels up, and what creates this fear element that we're always fighting every day, because sadly, the fear's everywhere in this life that we currently live in. It's about breaking through and not being a bit more sustainable with the things that you do on a daily basis. Try and get out of that system of fear mongering. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.